Hello, Cortis fans. So they have dropped their original version of their MV for FaSHioN. So I'm curious to see how this is going to be a little bit different. If it's going to be like anything like the conceptual performance that I have watched already at this point. I haven't dropped it yet, but I have watched them do their commentary for their What You Want MV, and they talked about like how their original version like was kind of like a draft, or kind of like what's it called, like a draft, or kind of like a way that like they wanted to like a, I don't know how you explain it, like a it's like a draft, but also kind of like a layout of kind of how they wanted things to go, or like certain things, like certain like images, certain like things like to like, or got portrayed in the like ideas that they wanted to, they couldn't necessarily like put in there in the original one into the actual like MV that came out, right? So I'm curious to see how this is gonna play into that now that they have talked about a little behind the scenes of that MV, and how it was like also like how they planned it out was also kind of like them getting some parts of it taken into consideration once the final draft, like their actual like official like company MV dropped. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. I'm also happy that they actually put the warning for like the flicker and the flashing lights, because if you guys did not watch my conceptual performance video, I was like, I really wish they would have like had one, like I said like the first time the set of like flashing like lights or like things came out on that one, that I wish they would have put a warning, because like that is a little bit like can be triggering for some people who have like a condition. So I was like, okay, I wish they would have done that. And then for me in that case, like I was just more like, I had a headache, so like that wasn't helping me with the flashing lights, because that usually happens when if you go to like a movie theater and they also have like that warning of, you know, like if you have like a condition or a medical conditioning of any kind, like that is affected by like when you like epilepsy, I believe, when it like gets like lights flicker like that on and off really badly, like that, you know, I wish they would have done that for the first time. But I am glad that maybe a bunch of us or like a lot of fans were saying like maybe put that in their head, like, hey, like maybe you guys should have done like set like a warning for those who can't, because like it was like all of a sudden it just happened. But nonetheless, I am happy that they ended up putting a warning this time around, because I can be prepared, that I know that there's going to be a lot of flashing lights. Not necessarily that it affects me a lot, but sometimes I get a headache from it. But we're just going to go ahead and watch, y'all. Oh, the slow motion. Okay, this is way more intense than the last. Why? That one scene I was just like, whoa. Hey, that was cool though. Whoa, like visuals are kind of trippy for this. I can see why they did a lot of flashing. Definitely reminiscent of like the conceptual performance film with all the flashing. What is cool? They definitely have a clear, like, interesting vision of how they want to express like their songs, for sure. Like, this is fun. I like that. But the flashing is definitely like a lot. Oh my god, that was kind of disturbing! I didn't like that part. I didn't like James doing that. That kind of scared me. Oh, he's wearing a duck dive shirt. punching the camera. I'm 100% sure that the yelling in the back, like in the like beat in the song, like is one of them yelling, like for sure. Whoa, okay. There is like something that looked to me like the hand holding rails of like a bus or like this. Is that what that is? I could be wrong, but that's what that looks like to me. I know for sure they're in a garage. Like this was like crazy. A lot of magnifying glasses. How they shot this is just, I really want to like them to do like a behind the scenes for these, as well as like, or just like them sitting down and like doing another commentary like the last like the What You Want one, because I really want to hear their explanations and like their thought process of how they like come up with these visuals, because some of them I'm just like, oh, like it's pretty like crazy, it's pretty intense for sure, like when it comes to the song. And for me, like obviously first like glance or looking at it, like I don't get the entirety of what they're trying to portray until they explain it, and then I'm just like, oh, looking back at it, I'm like, I can see that, I understand now. Like definitely, like I am more of like a simple-minded person, so like I'm very like, so sometimes I either I'm two ways. I'm either very simple-minded that I'm just like, okay, I see it for as what they're giving it to me, or I overanalyze it. But for me here, like there are some things I'm just like, okay, it's just very like simple, but there are parts that definitely like reflect or mirror in the conceptual film with the way that they like shot the members. Like I said, how it looks like they're filming them with like either them flashing the lights on and off and it getting like, or wearing reflective clothing, or they're shooting them with like a somewhat kind of like infrared camera and then putting in black and white filter over it, because that's kind of how it looks like with just like their outline. I don't know how they do it, but it's just interesting for me. Like I find it really interesting like what their vision is for like their songs, and then how they end up changing it for like in terms of the K-pop like standard for that, at least that much, right? Because obviously the MVs are a little bit different for sure, like conceptual versions and the official MVs are very different, so I like that we're getting different versions for each one. But like I said, I really want them to like, I really want to see like them sit down and talk about this for like their inspiration and like what was going through their mind and like how they came up with it, because I just think it's really interesting to see what their viewpoint is on that. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I shall see you in the next one.